p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in at Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arms on the ones and twos. As always, we got DeMornay Pierson-El joining us on the Allo VIP line, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. You guys can always join in via the Starter Heyman text line or any of these streams. We do got Royals on the brick and mortar. And like I said, so if you want to join the shows, use those streams or the text line or download the Ticket app. Great way to do so. Bottom of the second for the Kansas City Royals, as it is 0-0. Like I said, bottom of the second. They'll be at the top of the third shortly. But DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on a beautiful Wednesday?
It's going pretty good. You know, one day closer to Friday. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's a good time for this week. Says I just witnessed a nasty curb check down here on O Street. Drive safe on this beautiful Monday for everybody out there listening as well. That was a mean curb check. All right, DeMornay Pierson-El. I want to talk a lot of NBA, obviously in part with everything that's going on. And first things first, just to talk about this series before it gets into, this halftime officially, 50 Celtics, Knicks 41. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. And the Celtics, if they drop this one, they find themselves down 2-0. If they win this one, tied up 1-1. And really, when you think about the Boston Celtics, they've lost the first game of a ton of rounds, despite even last year winning the championship, 41-50. Any concerns about the Celtics dropping 2 games straight, or do you think they take care of this one at home?
A little bit of concern, but I mean they missed 45 threes and only lost by 3. That's just a bad shooting night. The Knicks did everything that they needed to get the dub. If they continue to have bad shooting or whatnot, or the Knicks step things up, and there might be just too much. I mean, even on that off night, they still only lose by 3. That's kind of crazy. So I wouldn't be too concerned. Like I'm not freaking out or panicking anything. I kind of feel like they're a lackadaisical team. They kind of just go with the flow and can turn it off and on. I'm not overly concerned. I wouldn't be for fans. I understand it's 0-2 or 2-0. But I think they'll be fine because you kind of poked it there and woke them up and, get ready for what things are about to come. I mean, they could have been dominant inside the paint. They could have been driving and everything like that. And honestly, they really didn't, shockingly. But I think they kind of, woke up, and I think they'll definitely be a lot more aggressive.
Yeah. I'm right in line with you with the Celtics. Like, they have suffered some woeful shooting in that game one, and to still just barely lose it in overtime. Like, if you're the Knicks, you want to come out there feeling a little bit more comfortable about the win, considering how poorly they shot throughout the entire thing, and you just barely scraped by through a win. The Celtics, they got enough talent on that team, depth-wise as well. And like I said, it was an overtime loss in game one. And if you look at last year, the Celtics just don't necessarily panic. Last year, they did. They dropped game one to the Heat, and that was the play-in Heat team as well. Then they dropped game one to the Cavaliers in the second round, and then they actually swept the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they also dropped not game one, I think it was game 4 versus the Mavericks in the finals. So they're prone to drop a game, even if it's the first round or the second round. They showed it last year. They can drop a game, and they'll bounce back. They've been there enough to where it's a team I'm not going to panic on. And again, 41-50 at halftime. Later tonight, though, you do have the Nuggets Thunder 8:30, and the Nuggets, I don't want to say stole it. They just went outright and won it. You could criticize OKC's coaching down the stretch there, being up and still deciding to foul, playing the foul game. I'll never fully understand that. I think you're overthinking the coaching there. Opens up for the doors for the Nuggets to come back, and that's exactly what they do. That game tips off at 8:30. What are you thinking heading into it?
Between
Nuggets and Thunder, 8:30.
I don't like it. To me, it's kind of, that game is kind of boring for whatever reason. Like, it's not as exciting as maybe the Clippers and Nuggets kind of was. I mean, and OKC blew out their first.
I mean, it finished with an Aaron Gordon buzzer beater. It's pretty exciting.
It's just, I don't know. Like, it's just, I think I'm just not a huge fan of OKC style of play. Honestly, I think that's what it is. I do think they're a good team or whatnot. I just don't enjoy watching them for whatever reason. The Nuggets have been, I mean, they've scraped by the hairs of their chinny chin. I mean, they're going to play bully ball again. I mean, OKC wasn't necessarily it wasn't a good showing from them. So I'm expecting a little bit more fireworks from this second game. As bad, they didn't really play bad, but it wasn't as good of a night for OKC. Even with that, they still scraped out of there and almost pulled it off. So tonight, I'm expecting, a little bit more ruggedness. For whatever reason, I feel like on the eastern side of the bracket, that conference, they're kind of letting them play a little bit more and a little bit harder than they are on the west. So hopefully they'll let them scrap it out a little bit. I expect OKC to have a better showing. When you plan a team for, a second and third time back to back relatively close to kind of make adjustments that kind of woke you up. A couple possessions and that game goes, the opposite way. So I expect OKC to bounce back tonight.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to be a sweep or anything. I think a gentleman's sweep at the very most. If I had to take a swing at it, I'd say it's probably a 6-game series. But I do got the Nuggets. Sure. The thing that stuck out to me was just size-wise, they don't have the size really to compete with them on the glass. Game one, the Nuggets won it 63-43, 20-plus differential on the glass. And that's going to be a problem for OKC throughout the entire series. If they clean up the glass on that one, Thunder's out of that game in the fourth quarter. Like, they're coasting to a victory. Instead, they have a lot of opportunities to get a stop, and they just can't get the rebound. And anytime you're giving that offense more swings at it, the way they move the ball, they're going to find some high efficient shots, even if the team's not shooting that well. So that's where I'm going to go with the Nuggets. And probably, I'll give them this game as well.
Winning 2 games on the road?
I do. I think the Thunder might get exposed a little bit here. And then maybe the Thunder still won on the road, but maybe it is a gentleman's 4-1. This playoffs are interesting, right? Because the 4 seed beat the 1 seed, right? Nuggets beat the Thunder. Then you had the 7 seed, the Warriors, 7 seed, beat the 6 seeded Timberwolves. So you got the 2 bottom seeds winning the first game in the West. And then you go over to the East, as we already saw. The 4 seeded Pacers beat the 1 seeded Cavs. So there you got another low seed winning. And then the 3 seeded Knicks beat the Celtics. All lower seeds won.
The common thing I would think is, majority of those lower seeded teams are coming off of just playing. I think they had a shorter break than some of these one seeded teams. OKC was pretty much, sitting for a while. Boston, I think, was sitting for a while. Minnesota necessarily wasn't. The Warriors, Minnesota was a little bit. It wasn't as long as OKC, but those teams, the teams that are coming off of those game 7s or whatnot, they're a little bit still kind of. I don't want to say like in shape, because everybody's in shape, but they're closer to that playing. So the drop off in between time for them is less, or was lesser than it was with some of those top seeds who got done, blue teams out and rested. So it's kind of like what we were talking about, with the college playoffs, sitting that first round or actually playing through it. You kind of get in your rhythm early on and everything like that. You have an idea of what you want to do and whatnot. And, you kind of figure things out with a new team. I think that happened to some of these to some of these top seeded teams. And Boston, a bad shooting night. That was probably their worst showing in the postseason. I would probably say in the last 2 years. Probably 45 threes that you missed.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It was really, really bad.
And y'all are way bigger, way physical, way more athletic than the other team, and y'all just kind of, you know what I mean? You kind of live and die by the 3. So you made, and I know that's kind of their MO. If they make shots, they're plus. But if they're not, but y'all have people that can get to the bucket. The thing with the Cavs, they're hurt. You know what I mean? And they still were right there. That's piss poor management, coming down to the end of it. I tip my hat to the Pacers, but you got a hurt Cavs teams that should have won. I think they lost it in the last minute and 30-something seconds. So they're the better team. They just got hit in their mouth. The Celtics, they're the better team. They got hit in their mouth.
Yeah, I think so. And to your point, that team they have the size advantage. You don't want to be launching that many threes, especially when they're not going your way. When if you choose to, you can win the battle inside the paint. They could go, I think, every single game. Well, I got to be a little bit careful with that. No, the Knicks, I think you should. I'm thinking the Pacers. Pacers are sneaky good at just really good at getting to the lane. Whether it's Pascal Siakam or Tyrese Halliburton, those guys are really good at just finding ways to cut. The Knicks don't really have that. Yes, you got guys like Brunson who are really good at it, but their size is a disadvantage when they get down there to where they have to kick things out and try to move that ball around, whereas opposed to Halliburton's just got that quick twitch speed and he's got the size to finish. And then Pascal Siakam, he makes his living off of cutting to the rim. When you look at the Knicks, they don't have that same ability. So if you're Boston, I think you make your money inside the paint. And if the three's not going your way, you get away from it. And you should
mid-range, just inside the arc. They have so many players already, towering over them. And it's like, okay, if your shot is not falling so far back, get to the rack, get a foul. Because they're gonna give it to you, especially in Boston. They'll give it to you. I don't understand why everybody's just standing around and just, Chuck City.
I agree. Well, when you miss 42 threes, that's exactly what it tells you. It says you guys settled way too much on the 3-point line, considering the size advantage you have. This is a team that, in my mind, they should win for points in the paint at the end of every game. Even if they take an L, points in the paint, that should weigh in their favor, as well as the rebounding total. But give it to the Knicks. They are not the biggest team out there, but that's one thing about them. They are probably one of the scrappiest teams, and you just got to meet that head on. Otherwise, if you play soft, as I think the Celtics did, they're going to take advantage of it. Just let you keep playing that way, and they'll take advantage of getting to the rim and just, better shooting as well for those guys in that game. That puts that series 1-0 as well. Those guys will play. We did not talk about the Pacers. Once again, they snuck away Tyrese Halliburton. Not quite a buzzer beater. I think he hit it with about 2 seconds or 1.7 seconds left to go. He cuts, off a missed board that they get an offensive rebound. Halliburton pulls it back to the top of the key, crosses it up, and goes straight to the rim, puts in the layup for 2 points. And the Cavaliers get another attempt at half court. Not even close. Pacers win. They're up 2-0 over the Cavs. And I will say this is brutal for the Cavs because they do have Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. I mean, that team's just completely different. They're hurt right now. I talked about this a lot during the regular season. What is one thing the Cavs don't believe in? It's load management. It might bite them in the butt, and it sucks because I hate it. I hate load management, but this is why guys like Greg Popovich sat Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard and Parker down. Like, he was really the first guy to start making those moves, and you might hate it, but then you go watch this Cavs team and they're without a guy like Garland who's shooting plus 40% from three is going to do a lot of spacing for a guy like Mitchell. And that's the other problem with Mitchell right now is I know his shooting numbers haven't been great. The other part of that, though, is take away Garland, take away Mobley. It makes it really easy to lock in on Mitchell. Now you got some extra help there. You can put some more pressure there. You're not worried about Garland popping off, and you're not worried about Evan Mobley. So if they don't get those guys back, like this series, in my mind, it's going to the Pacers. How important is it for the Cavs just to, at the very least, get Darius Garland back?
I think very, very important. I mean, he's a floor general. He's a shot creator. He can get his own bucket, but he also penetrates and gets through the defense and makes the right pass and sets people up and whatnot. I mean, as you said it, Donovan Mitchell's spacing everything. Can he bring up the ball and everything like that? Yes, but he's a 2. He'll get to his spot and get you there and everything like that. When he has to kind of completely take over the game and do a lot and everything like that, it makes it a lot easier. It's fewer people that, other teams have to worry about and whatnot. I mean, it's cutting a piece of your offense out, whether if he's creating it himself or creating it with an assist.
Yeah, and the tough part for Mitchell was, like, even though that was definitely true for game 1, game 2, it didn't matter. 15 for 30, 1 for 7 from 3. So if we want to say you knock down a couple more threes, and that's where I do think Garland helps. I think Donovan Mitchell's 3-point shooting percentage isn't this woeful through game 1 and 2 if he does have a little bit more help spacing the floor. But he still did a ton of damage. You take away the threes, it's an incredibly efficient day. But like I said, 1 for 7, but still 15 for 30. 48 points on the day, 17 of 21 from the free throw line, and they take an L. I'll ask you as an athlete who's played at the highest level before, maybe not in the NBA, but say even at Nebraska, if you have a really great game and you did everything you needed to, but the team still falls short, does that affect the mentality at all?
I wouldn't say affects the mentality. It pisses you off because it's like, you are capable of doing it. You've shown, to do it and everything like that. And more so a person like, Donovan Mitchell, is there something he probably could have done better? Those are the games was like, instead of, making that extra pass when I got to this spot and everything like that, I could have took a shot. I think late in the game, they were giving up, shots or good looks, trying to run out the clock instead of, getting a bucket to kind of keep things situated. I think that those last couple of minutes, were kind of bad where the Pacers was kind of on a run. So in situations like that, you can, especially with the person that everybody looks to, it's frustrating because it's like, I wish I could have handled it different. But you look at it as like, okay, instead of necessarily having a facilitator hat or instead of being, chill or not, being as aggressive or, fully taking over and taking in control and just, put that stamp of approval on the game. And then, you looking back and it's like, if I could have just did X, Y, and Z, or if I could have just did X, it would have been a different outcome. And I think that's more so probably of where he's at more so than messing up, mentally or, upset or frustrated. It's just more so like, like that one's on me because like they let that game get away. Like they deserve to win that game, and they literally just slipped literally in the last 2 minutes, and right time at the wrong situation, and you're on the opposite end of things. They were coasting instead of being actively aggressive to keep their league and keep it safe. Attacking to the basket, getting easy buckets and whatnot. Those type of situations, you don't have to chuck threes and everything like that. Attack the paint, get a foul or get an easy two, and kind of keep the game, padded and pressured.
Well said. And I'm not a big fan of calling people out, but this was a really rough performance. And again, it goes back to the Cavs were trying to find some guards to help out, and the absence of Garland, and they tried to tie Jerome out there. 2 points. How many shots do you think he took to get to 2 points this morning, Pierson-El?
Is it double digits?
Double digits.
Oh, I was gonna say 8, but you said double digits.
He was 1 for X. 14. 1 for 14 on the day. 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. No free throws. Didn't even get attack the rim very much. 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 points. Ty Jerome on about 30 minutes of play. Like that's killer. When you have a guy like Garland, and you got to find other guards to play in there. And Jerome, he's not that bad of a player, but that was clearly too big of a moment for him in that game in particular. 1 for 14 really sunk the ship there. And you never want to put a loss on one player, but 1 for 14 is a tough one to walk away from and not think, if we had somebody else, would we have a different outcome? And the answer is almost. I mean, when you lose by that close of a margin in the last 2 minutes of the game, and you have Donovan Mitchell pop off for 48 points, everyone else plays pretty well to their standard. Jared Allen 7 for 9. Max Strus had a pretty nice game. Yeah, he took a few shots, but he came big down the stretch there. Hit a huge 3 late in the game. He was 8 for 18. 5 for 12 from 3, though, so you'll take that 3-point shooting percentage at 41%. That's what he's out there for, is to space the floor. Wade out there, 1 for 4. He wasn't a whole lot active on offense. And then Sam Merrill, 5 for 10. You got some good. Isaac Okoro, 1 for 2. Javonte Green only took the 1 shot. And then Craig Porter Jr., he was in there for only about 3 minutes towards the end there, and he's 1 for 2 as well. But that 1 for 14 just sticks out like a sore thumb. I'm like, yikes. Plus minus wise, Ty Jerome was a -5. Ironically, not the worst on the team. Max Strus was the worst at -14. But that 1 for 14, that was more of a just being out there with Mitchell while he's dropping 48, just keeping your plus minus alive for you. With that being said, I'll ask you this, and because the Cavs need an unsung hero. If it's not going to be Garland and they're not going to get Mobley back, they need an unsung hero. Give me to you the guys that you remember that, if someone asks, this is your favorite player that isn't a superstar, that they might look at you a little bit weird. Does that make sense what I'm asking for?
In Cavs history or just on his team now?
NBA history. It can be any team.
That's an unsung hero?
Yeah, the oddballs that aren't in the papers, but like you are a fan of that player for reasons unknown to the public.
Active players or?
It can be former players. Like for me, I'll tell you right now to kind of give you what I'm thinking of. Like, Carlos Boozer, for me back in the day, I loved Carlos Boozer. Like I was a big Carlos Boozer fan. Luol Deng as well. I mean, a lot of mine are Bulls. Even a guy like go ahead.
I was a huge Birdman fan. I loved his energy. like he was a grinder. He didn't care. Something happened. He was first in people's face. Like Birdman, Chris Anderson was that player for me. Melo was one of my favorite players. I like, the Nuggets a lot.
He's a star though. He's a star that a lot of people were super high on.
I'm not saying Melo, but I'm saying J.R. Smith, Chris Anderson, David West was another big person I like. I mean, he kind of was a superstar though, I guess. So maybe not David West. That's a really good question.
Yeah, the unsung heroes. We can revisit that a little bit on the other side.
You making me really think of.
Well, that's what the Cavs need right now. They need somebody to come out of the woodwork that isn't expected to pop off, and you're like, wait a minute, we got something here with this guy coming out of nowhere. And
Yeah, I don't know who that is on the team. I couldn't point and tell you.
Yeah, I don't think the Cavs have one.
Maybe Tristan Thompson could come back and rare form. Maybe it'll be him.
I mean, they could try it. It'd be better than Ty Jerome in the last game. I'd have Tristan Thompson out there playing the guard position after that stat line. No, I love that question because that's what the Cavs need. I don't know who could be on that roster. I don't think they necessarily have one, but like for me, another guy was Sean Livingston. The Warriors were a lot of fun, but when Steph Curry subbed out and Sean Livingston went in, Sean Livingston meant business. He was getting buckets at the charity stripe.
Would Baron Davis qualify for that question, or is that still stardom?
That's a good one. No, I like that. He's got a local stardom. I wouldn't say that's to the magnitude.
Baron Davis, Monte Ellis, and I know, like I said, their style of play, they were shorter guards, but still could get things going and whatnot. I'm trying to think.
If we're going with the Warriors, JaVale McGee always sticks out there as well. Go follow that guy in his rings and tell me differently. That guy's just always good.
Jameer Nelson, when he was with Orlando, he would always, I like the shorter guards. They got to put on for the short king. I'm trying to think who else. I think the Wizards had, a boatload of guys. Hibachi. Gilbert Arenas, he was starting, but you had it was a dude on there. His name was Daniels. I can't think of his first name, but his last name was Daniels. He was a high flyer type guy. Andre Iguodala, when he was with the Sixers before he kind of really got off. Trying to think who else.
Nate Robinson sticks out for me. I know it was only 1 year with the Bulls.
Trevor Ariza.
That's a great one.
Enough credit.
Yeah, he's it's fair to say, one of the toughest dudes in the NBA. Like, real tough dude. Like, you wouldn't want to meet him. You wouldn't want to be acting a fool and for him to be the one to catch you. Like, that guy, he was a real tough guy. Like, I think he meant business if you crossed him the wrong way. So Trevor Ariza, to me, he's one of those out there. Like, he's a real tone setter. I absolutely believe, Trevor Ariza was a guy that the NBA peers respected and knew, don't cross him the wrong way, because that man's about business. So that's I like that segment. Brewington brought that up to me when we're talking about the Lakers and their loss and, how they need an unsung hero. And that's the question he posed me. Remember Marcelo Huertas as well on the Lakers back in the day?
Ooh, okay.
He was he's not necessarily even an unsung hero, but just a totally random player that I had too much joy watching. He was the foreigner. There was an era where guys like Ricky Rubio too, I was just entranced by watching these foreigners in the league.
Does Lou Williams qualify for that? Because he's a superstar type player, but he was a 6th man of the year for a period of time. He was coming off the bench and then got to that. So does he qualify for that, or is he too much of a star?
I think he's maybe not. He won the award for 6th man of the year. You could say he was underappreciated for how good he really was.
No, it's a no. If you gotta try and make it, it's a no. It's okay.
I try to give respect to Lou Williams though. He was absolutely phenomenal, and I was happy to see him win 6th man of the year. He's a guy who, man, you go through his career and you wonder how teams messed it up with him. He was such a good guard to come off the bench for anybody, and he just straight get buckets. He could take over offense the same way that Sean Livingston did for Curry back in the day. But we are over the clock on this segment here. We'll go ahead, throw it to break. We'll talk a little bit more NBA on the other side. So don't go anywhere. Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Demorne Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in Don't Punt Hour segment number 2 as I play the track at the appropriate time, second time around here. We got the morning Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line as always, and we're going to stick to basketball. We'll tie it into Husker hoops as they got a big commitment. But, you know, with the conversation in the NBA at the pro level has been, how good is Jokic, and are we getting to the point where he's going to go down? Steve Nash said if he keeps this up for 5 years, he's going to be on the Mount Rushmore of the figures of basketball. You got even the people who were not big fans of him early in his career, like Barkley and Shaq, all of a sudden talking about this guy is reaching greatness, and, you know, they're trying to figure out where he's going to be, top 10 or whatnot. So I'm just going to do a game here, and I'm just going to list centers, and you tell me, and you're thinking about these centers in their prime. You tell me which center you would rather have. Is it fair to say Jokic is in his prime right now?
I think so. I think that's fair.
Yeah, at least the best season yet. Next year could be even better, which is crazy to think there's even a possibility of that. But this to this point has been.
How old is he again? Because he looks 45.
He looks 45. That's a great question. He's not. He's a little bit older, I think people might expect, but he's not incredibly old. He is 30 years old.
Oh yeah, nah.
Have fun. The NBA West.
I would say he's definitely in his prime, and it's still like the early part of it.
Yeah, that's a terrifying thought all in itself. So with that being said, we're going to go through the greatest centers that most people on a, you know, list they like to throw out there. First center I'll throw out there. Would you rather take prime Bill Walton or prime Jokic?
Ooh. I'm taking Jokic.
Me too. Prime Joel Embiid or prime Jokic?
Jokic.
All right. Some of these names are old. This one it gets a little bit tougher. Prime Dwight Howard, so like Magic Dwight Howard or Jokic?
Ooh. What kind of team am I building?
Whatever you want. I mean, once you have that guy, you can build the rest out however you want.
No, because they're both champions.
Yeah,
but
I'll tell you right now, one allows you to really put a lot of people around it. The other one's a little more harder to build around.
But it's two different eras, so that's what I'm saying. Like if it's predicated to more right now, I would take Jokic because it would be easier. I don't know, because prime Dwight, all you had to do was toss it up. Like that's an easy, but that's. Give me Jokic. That one's hard. I'm taking Joker, but it's by 3 hairs.
Okay. We'll go a little bit old school on this one, and I'll fill you in with some of the details. Robert Parrish, the former Celtic, 4 NBA titles, 9 All-Stars. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Parrish, we're short on you with that one. Let's go Patrick Ewing. All right, now it's getting really hard.
Ooh.
7th all-time in blocks, 25th all-time in rebounds, 26th in scoring, 120th in steals, 7-time NBA All-Star.
Is Dwight Howard above Patrick Ewing in stats?
I would definitely put Patrick Ewing above Dwight Howard.
Okay.
Stat-wise, he much more consistent. A little bit inflated in Dwight Howard's era, but I still think Patrick Ewing, if you were really picked between him and Dwight, to me, I'm going Ewing.
And it's in today. It's not 5 years ago or 7 years ago type style of playing basketball. It's today's style of basketball, correct?
Today's style.
I'm going Joker.
I'm going Joker too, but that one I can understand why you go Ewing. Ewing was like one of the best shot blockers too we've ever seen.
It's about 2 or 3 people that like I know if you say them, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, Joker, I don't care.
Let's go to the Spurs. David Robinson.
You getting close. you getting close.
Okay. Moses Malone.
I'm taking.
Okay, yeah. We'll start. I went too fast. David Robinson. Who you want?
How many championships you got?
2 titles and 1 MVP. Jokic has 3 MVPs. Probably should get 4. Just saying.
I'm taking Joker by two chin hairs.
Okay, I can respect that. It does get tough. Moses Malone, all-time great Sixer back in the day.
I'm still taking Joker.
Yeah, me too. That one's a little tougher for Malone because you go back to the era conversation.
You're making them tough. You're not saying the names that I'm thinking of where you gonna go.
All right. Well, this one I know you're waiting for this one. Hakeem Olajuwon.
I'm taking the dream. It ain't close. I don't care.
Oh,
I'm taking the
tough.
dream.
Okay.
I'm taking the dream.
I actually took Jokic. This is where I varied. Diesel. You taking Shaq or you taking Jokic?
I'm taking Shaq.
I'm taking Shaq too. Give Jokic some more time. I'm not saying it can't, but yeah, I mean the game broke because of Shaq. Like they had to fix the game.
Now, I will say this: a couple more years, dominant years of what Joker is doing now, I think he will be in a category of his own, to where it's like when people say Shaq aside, okay, like he will be in his own lane. I think Joker is getting close to his own lane, to where it's like you have to throw his name in there and above people. Now I do think he is close to that. He's not there just yet, but I think if he have a few more years of how this has been, and maybe another championship or two, it's going to be hard to not. When you say they're great, it's going to be hard to not put him in there. It's going to be hard not to. He's one of the four for sure.
Yeah, and that's where I 100% agree with Steve Nash. It's like if he does this, anything even close to what he does for like another 5 years,
yeah,
it's going to be. I mean, you're going to look at just 7 years straight of averaging an insane high efficiency triple double. then you go to the playoff stats, and there's no drop off in the playoffs. If anything, it gets even better. And you add these 3 years and 5 more years on top of that, that resume is going to look unreal. Moving on, though, Wilt Chamberlain.
That's too far back. Like,
all right, the rest of these are too far back, and it gets tough. I'll just ask you if any of them.
You ain't say Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? Like Duncan was a problem.
You could definitely throw Mr. Fundamentals in there. He should be on that list.
Me personally, I would take Timmy.
I can't do that because Tim Duncan, the best thing about Tim Duncan is he was incredibly consistent. I think it was that 2003 year. It was probably his best scoring year. He was probably around 23 points. He was averaging a double-double on rebounds as well. I think he's probably around 12, 13 rebounds. The assist thing wasn't really his game, so I'm not going to fault him for that. But he also played 82 games like every single year. You can find some seasons where it's 78. His second year, he only played about 50 games. But every year after that, I mean, he's like 4 games out at most. And that was really the load management of Greg Popovich towards the very end of the season. Otherwise, he'd play just about every game he could. So he in his own right, has a unique thing about him.
I'm taking Tim Duncan. I don't care about none of that.
I will not hate you on it at all. Mr. Fundamentals is, I hope as the years go down, people remember the greatness that is Tim Duncan. Bill Russell or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Any of those guys, despite the era difference?
I would. It's close with Kareem. Like it's.
He's the best center of all time, I think, for most people, right?
I would take Kareem. Bill, I mean, he got 11 ships, different time. I'll probably take Joker, just because I mean, you had that was a different time. You had he was definitely different. I would take Kareem over Joker, and I would take Joker over
Bill Russell. Yeah,
yes.
Bill Russell, it's always just brutal for Bill Russell, right? Because there's also I think only 10 teams in the NBA at that time. So his records are phenomenal. I think it was 11 straight NBA finals that he went to, and he won 9 of them.
It's just too far from this game.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with Kareem, but I mean, Kareem, he had the scoring title up until, this year. I mean, that's a few decades. So I can't do that one. Goggles got me.
Well, and Kareem, too, he was just another guy that you could put him in today's game. He was a freak athlete. I mean, he could do the splits midair on a crazy, 40-plus inch vertical at that height, and also have the touch to do sky. He could play in today's era, no problem. So, that's why I will give him the respect. I love Jokic, but I would love to watch Kareem's game today. especially with the freedom and the athleticism that he has. Like, he would be an absolute nightmare athletically for anybody to compete with. And he's also got that beautiful touch that we really haven't seen since a guy like Jokic came around. So Kareem, to me, he has that number one spot. I think that puts Jokic, somewhere between 5 and 10 for you right now?
Say that again?
I think that for you, if you're going all-time great centers, NBA, Jokic probably sitting like right outside that top 5 and where he's at today.
Say so.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
I would say top 7 probably.
Okay.
Top 8.
I like that because, again, give it 5 more years, right? We don't have to throw in it, put the crown on him, especially with recency bias. But it is fun to track. When you watch those guys' numbers and you're like, he's not at the top of the mountain, but he's climbing it at a scary rate. The greats that are sitting on the mountain right now are watching this guy from Sambar just rip his way up the mountain.
He's doing stuff that centers should not be doing. Numbers wise, movement wise, like it's a different style of game, but it's like, man, we've never seen this before, and it's efficient. So it's like I'm not mad. It's like, yeah, you're not, the rim protector, bully and everything like that. It's a different type of style, and I can appreciate it. And it's like he's still contributing in a different way. So, like, you have to respect it.
Yeah, well said. With that being said, we'll throw it to break. We'll talk about another center, but this one's not playing in the NBA. This one committed to the University of Nebraska, all the way from Iceland. We'll talk about him next. Don't go anywhere. This is the Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Just got some sad recruiting news from the boss man himself, but I got some good recruiting news to balance it out. We got DeMornay Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line, and we got a commitment for Husker Hoops, a much-needed one. DeMornay Pierson-El, how does a center at the size of 7'1" sound for the Huskers next year?
I like it a lot. You know, again, you know, there was Zach Edey out there. We went and got somebody, you know, like it.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
you know, that's real nice.
Especially with, I don't want to point at the guys last year because there's a lot of things that wasn't entirely on them. There's things I thought they could do better, but also it was a team that was lacking chemistry at certain points, and it got a lot better towards the end of the year. But unfortunately, they were already out of the tournament at that point, but it was good enough to win the college basketball crown. So I don't want to discredit anything those guys did last season, but it was still clearly an area Nebraska, needed to improve on if they wanted to be back in the tournament. So they got Leo Curtis, all the way from Iceland, 7'1" center. And he was already playing in the U.S. He did play some pro ball in Iceland as well. But he was currently playing, I believe, at the Cambridge Arts, Technology, and Science Academy in Massachusetts. So it's not like he's coming straight off the island over there in Iceland. He has some time in the States. But when he was a pro, he was averaging 15.4 points a game, 8.9 rebounds, and about 2 blocks a game, shooting an elite 64% from the floor. 64.
How old is he? Because that's kind of confusing. You are pro in another country, but you can still come here and play in college.
Well, I think that's the Cambridge Arts Technology Academy. I'm not sure exactly how that fares where the Cambridge Arts Technology and Science Academy in Massachusetts, where they're necessarily playing ball, but in Iceland, you see this a lot of those other teams. Like if they're good enough, they'll play pro like early while they're still in high school. So that's not so surprising. What he was doing over at Cambridge, I'd have to look into a little bit more. But that's where he's been playing lately in the U.S. at that Cambridge Arts School. But he's 7'1", 220 pounds. He was committed to Arizona State, but he pulled that commitment back and reopened it in April. And as a result, we get him all the way in May 7th. Again, I'll have to look at what that competition looks like with those stats, but professionally, his pro stats, that's where I got the 15.4 points, 9 rebounds, 8.9, and then, of course, 1.7 blocks. You can round that up to 2. Either way, I love this addition a lot. I have to see more of it, what it looks like on the court, but this was a huge need. And to get a guy at that size who's got some pro experience already, like we've seen what that does for guys like Goran Dragic, who eventually came over to the NBA, for Luka Doncic, who eventually came over to the NBA, Victor Wembanyama, who's now possibly a face of the NBA. You get that pro experience early. I think that helps a lot. How big of a recruitment is this for Nebraska? Kind of a hidden gem, maybe. I'm not sure how high he was on a lot of people's list, but Fred Hoiberg goes out and gets him. And you also have Rink Mast returning as well. You know, does this move the needle quite a bit for you? Or do you got to see him play before you think anything?
I think I would have to see him play before anything, but I mean, if not anything, I mean, 7'2", rebounds. You can put other people in other positions. We would be big, or taller at the 5'4", maybe 3 position. So I mean, that's length. So I mean, it adds a lot, and I mean, especially him being that big, if he does come over here and consistently score and whatnot, that certainly adds to it.
Yeah, and just add it to the group of guys I brought in. That now adds, you got Jared Garcia from Tulsa, Kendall Blue, St. Thomas, Will Cooper from Air Force, Price Sanford, the Iowa unfortunate assassin that killed Nebraska a couple times, and of course Jamarcus Lawrence coming back as well. And now you and Curtis in here from Iceland. It's a good sign. Like I said, I got to go see more of it, but you can see his highlights, his pro highlights. It'll get you excited. Like he's just got really good rim protection, and that's certainly an area we could be better at. And then if you give him the ball at a good possession, like you can't argue with 65% field goal percentage. He's got a good touch at that height, good rebounder as well. Excited for it, and some good news for Nebraska basketball. But that's going to wrap it up for us. Off the field, Kendall Lanier and DP's the guest for tonight, so don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.